Dumoulin takes a look. Deflected, scores! Letang! Could you script it any better than this?
Pitch it to Najee Harris. Harris sidesteps, gets to the sideline. Najee Harris dives for the pylon. Touchdown, Steelers!
I don't think I expected anything less.
That's unbelievable. It is absolutely incredible.
Welcome to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studio, 5100 West Library Avenue Municipal Building right here in Bethel Park. We appreciate you watching. You know we have our 1,000 show celebration next week. But we had a little mathematical error. You know us Keystone Oak guys, math wasn't our strong suit, so.
Same thing with Gateway.
Yeah, so we had 1,000. So I said I was a little nervous. I'm on my second 1,000 shows. Unbelievable. So thank you for watching it. Without all these volunteers, can't name them all. I'm in front of the live camera, but I appreciate all of you. Nick helped set it all up like he does, got us live streaming and you name it for your convenience, and you keep me pumped up because I don't talk at home, so I'm the talking machine on air, so I appreciate that. Thanks for watching us on Facebook. We had a brand new high, 7,470 followers. Highest we've ever had for our 14th year. Appreciate it. YouTube, I think we're holding at 403. I didn't check it again, but we appreciate you tuning in and watching. We love the interactions. There are no dumb questions. If you talk about the Kool-Aid with all the teams, we don't drink Kool-Aid from any of our black and gold teams, just so you know. And I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. Smoking Jim Frazier, Chip Hayner, Nick Callis. And I got some special promos to do, and we got the Steve MVP for 8 years. He doesn't even work at BPTV anymore. He's an accountant, and he won't do Smoking Jim's taxes because he doesn't use his government name or claim income. Next week, I can't believe it's here. 1,000 celebration, Bethel Park Community Center. Even Smoking Jim knows it's 5151 Park Avenue. It's a big building. Go through the glass doors, and there's a big area. It seats 300 people. We'll be on stage. We're talking about setting that up. We're going to even interview people there that want to thank us or make a comment. And we'll do that in our shows live, 7 o'clock to 8 TV, live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So behave yourselves. It's all family friendly. It's free to get in. Let me emphasize, this is a free event sponsored by BPTV and the Bethel Park community. Without them, I can't be the talking machine. So I'm honored, I'm blessed. And look what we're doing tonight. Thank you for coming. Again, no charge. See you next week. All right, now we got a special event. Check this out. Last year we did the Art and Music Festival, first one last year. There were over 5,000 that were there.
Wow.
Andy Amrine, you know Handy Andy, owner of EV Hardware. He's the one that got all of us working there. They have me sell 50-50 raffle tickets, so I got to be there from 10 o'clock till when it closes. There it is, 10 till 6 p.m. The talking machine will be selling 50-50s, bring cash, and there's no charge to get in. There's all kind of artists, there's musicians. My friend Jessica Lee's going to be there kicking it off, so check that out. We got all these good things happening there, and that is the 26th of July. 10 in the morning, Smoking Jim. Before you go to bed, just stop on out. People want to meet you, especially since he's down 72 pounds. Look at him. I won a bet with Steve, the MVP. He said, Al, you're not BSing me. I said, Steve, I've never lied to you. He goes, you better not. I said, am I right? He said, yes. He's the thinnest I've ever seen him, and you've been here 8 years. 8 years for Steve. All right, we got promos in 10 seconds. Thanks for letting me rattle on. See you after that.
My name is Nicholas Callis, and this is the Bethel Park Minute. The Bethel Park Splash Park is open daily from 12 to 7 p.m. with early access available to members only at 11 a.m. Memberships can be purchased at the community center, and day passes can be purchased at the Splash Park. Please check social media and the flag in front of the park to see if any weather-related changes affect the hours of operation. If you check the flag in front of the park, if it's up, the park's open, and if it's down, the park is closed. The award-winning Bethel Park Farmers Market takes place this and every Tuesday until September from 3 to 7 p.m. on Corrigan Drive in South Park, right next to the ice rink, and it is Cow Appreciation Day. That's the theme for the Bethel Park Farmers Market this week. Go to the Bethel Park Farmers Market social media on Facebook and Instagram, or go to bethelparkpa.gov to find out more about what the Bethel Park Farmers Market is doing with Cow Appreciation Day. Bethel Park is still hiring school crossing guards. There's currently 3 positions open. If you'd like to apply or find out more information, you can go to our careers page on bethelparkpa.gov. We also want to remind you that the save the date for the 2nd annual Bethel Park Arts and Music Festival is here. It'll be taking place on Saturday, July 26th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Park Avenue and inside the Bethel Park Community Center and the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center. You can check back with us soon or check back on the Bethel Park website, bethelparkpa.gov, and Bethel Park social media. We'll have more details for you on that coming up soon. The Pirates Mermaids Treasure Hunt that the Bethel Park Recreation Department is putting on is going to take place this Friday at 7 p.m. Check Bethel Park Recreation social media or check the website, bethelparkpa.gov, for more information on that. Also, the first Dean Streeter concert of the year is going to take place this coming Sunday, July 13th at 2:30 at the Bethel Park Community Center. Community Band South will be the featured band for the first one of the year in 2025 this year. My name is Nicholas Callis, and this has been the Bethel Park Minute.
Frank Fanera, owner of Olive Oil's Pizzeria and the Hillcrest Shopping Center on Route 88. Call them at 412-831-1900. Every Tuesday night, Olive Oil's Pizzeria provides the host and the amazing volunteer crew with an XL pepperoni pizza and a full steak hoagie. They are delicious. Olive Oils is proud to support Pittsburgh Sportsline and the volunteers at BPTV. Stay Joey strong. Joey Fabus died at 8 years old of brain cancer known as DIPG. Since then, the family has come together with community members to create the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. Since being founded, they've raised over $100,000. Go to jfccf.org to learn more about DIPG, to help spread awareness, and to see how else you can support and donate towards the fight against this dreaded brain cancer. Always Be Smiling, a 501c3 designed to help children and families in need of kidney transplants. The B stands for Bennett, whose memory is embedded in this organization by his parents, Kristen and Dean. Despite the challenges he faced in his 16 and a half years of life, Bennett always had a smile on his face and spread kindness to everyone he could. Now, Always Be Smiling wants to pass on that kindness. Go to alwaysbesmiling.org to learn more and see how you can support or donate to this organization. The Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. I'm Al Levine, trustee on the board of this great organization. The BPCF focuses on raising money to provide scholarships, grants, endowments, and more. Grant requests are available online from $100 to $5,000. You can also attend fundraisers or donate. Go to bpcf.org to get more information and to stay up to date on upcoming events. The Bethel Park Community Foundation, focusing community resources, building for the future. The Bethel Park Historical Society is a 501c3 that serves Bethel Park. The Historical Society operates out of the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, located at 2600 South Park Road. Look for the red and white trolley right out front. Reginald's Coffee is inside, and I've heard it's the best coffee around. To visit this great historical venue, email historicalsocietybp@gmail.com. Hey, thanks for watching those promos. We appreciate it. Main promo, I'm worried about just myself. 1,000 show celebration, free food. I'll buy cakes at Bethel Park with 1,000 show. And if you didn't know, we don't know how old he is, but Smokin' Jim's birthday is July 17th. So it's a traditional thing. I get a cake, and it has to be white batter.
Happy
Yes,
40,
sir.
50, 60, 70, 80th, Smoking Jim.
Did you make it marbled?
Chip, I'm going to ask him to give me a plate with just a little piece of chocolate cake. All right.
Man doesn't ask for much.
No, that's not much. But the icing is good. Bethel Park Bakery. Appreciate it. Teresa Mariano's watching. As long as Mike's watching with you, I'm happy. Johnny Mariano's watching. Long as your dad's watching. Mike. Mary E. Math is watching. John Pietrowski's watching. Tony from Chick-fil-A. O'Neill Cruz heading to the All-Star game. Is he going to be in the home run derby or not? Because he didn't qualify that fielding record he has.
Oh, he's definitely in the home run derby.
Oh, then that's all we
Yeah,
needed.
that's a thing. That has been a
Yeah,
thing.
he bought a
in history.
ticket.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the clarification. I needed help from Nick. Jody Brown's watching. Peggy Rohde's watching. Say hello to Nick and Marco up there, okay? Yeah. And Rochester. Ann Harder's watching. Say hello. Thank you. George Malerbo's watching. Chuck McElroy, Chief snuck it in. Happy 1001 show. Yep, we're celebrating 1,000 next week. Bob Beers, my longtime friend from the press, lives in Greenfield. He's friends with Mike McCarthy, Smoking Jim, from Greenfield.
Wow.
Marco Rohde, hello all. Marco Rohde watching live show in Rochester, New York with Nick and Peggy Rohde. I one-upped them. I got it in early. All right. Troy Swiggert's watching. What else, Nick?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
If you pay everybody in singles, why do you have a $100 bill on your hat?
This is one of
That was a good question.
Nick. You just put out one of the best questions.
Right? I'm a journalist.
No, you're a radio guy. No, that's good.
Because the strippers don't pay $100 bills.
Whoa. I heard the pimps hold the hundreds. All right, we got to go to What's on Your Mind. This is a family-friendly show. Let's bring it back. Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine. Man, I'm always great. I'm always so happy to see my accountant Fish back here, man.
Hold it, disclaimer. Disclaimer. He's a professional. He's got a master's degree and everything else. He won't ever.
He works wonders.
He won't ever. We can't even talk about
He's
it.
got a garbage bag full of receipts.
We're going to delete it because he wants to know what your government name is and your Social Security number, and you said you'd never give it out. So not that he's lying, he's just entertaining. So what's on your mind?
Well, I tell you what, man. Best biceps going is my man Vinny. He got it going on. And I tell you what, we couldn't do it without Mikey and Jada in the control room.
You want to mention anybody else?
But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine, I already mentioned Fishback.
No, he don't go by that.
Oh, Al Levine, the talking machine. I tell you what, man, I'm going to continue to break stories. I'm a journalist. I heard on a national radio show local radio show, and everywhere in between that Jalen Ramsey is going to play some safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You heard it here first. Jalen Ramsey will never, ever, ever play safety. You got that, Nick? Jalen Ramsey will never, ever play safety.
Slot corner.
And you heard it here first. Yeah, he'll do that.
Will he cover tight ends?
I'm wondering, it's just me. In 1962, the Steelers drafted a running back out of Ohio State named Ferguson. In 1966, they drafted a black running back out of West Virginia named Lethbridge. Neither of them did good because the offensive line refused to block for them. They says, if you're making that much money, see if you can run without blocking. Is the Pittsburgh Pirates sandbagging, putting the bats down for Paul Skeens? Are they jealous of Paul Skeens? Do they not like Paul Skeens? Listen, I know it's hard to prove, but I just can't believe that each and every time this man pitches, nobody can hit. Not even Frazier, the true leader of the team. So I'm not saying it, but it looks to me like the Pittsburgh Pirates are laying down bats. And finally, Al Levine, the talking machine. And a sad note, a good friend of Al Levine, the talking machine. When people get to be friends with Al Levine, the talking machine, I always think I met him through him. But I actually brought him to Al Levine, the talking machine. Bill Boyce passed away this morning. And I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, this is a guy, former Marine. He just had so many business photographers. I got 7,000 pictures out there on Facebook. Most of them is from Pittsburgh Sportsline. And he had to do half of them, and Frank Favis did the other half. And I tell you what, Al, I just talked to him because I was this close of going to his 4th of July.
He didn't put an invite out.
He told me about it. I thought you knew.
No, you guys are keeping me in the dark ever since I got 1,000 shows.
I was almost on my way.
No way.
And I says, I'm determined to go Labor Day.
You missed it last time.
I wish I could have said goodbye to my friend. But I tell you what, man, it was a shocker when I got the news this morning.
Hey, Smokin', you know what's weird about that? I didn't go on the 4th of July because I figured he usually invites. I checked his page.
Yeah.
Nothing was on his Facebook page. Guess what he sent me by text with no comment? They're roasting a pig.
Yeah.
He had a roasted pig, and I said, oh, that's great. I didn't know that'd be the last comment that I would make to him.
Yeah, he sent me that same pig. It looked good.
I'm so crushed by that.
Yeah.
What a good friend.
Yeah.
He was a good guy. I'm shocked. I didn't know that he was
he survived cancer.
Okay.
And he was actually cured. And guess what? He just started a job. Like Smokin' Jim doesn't understand how this happens, but he started a job called like Angel Headstone Cleaning Services.
Okay.
He got a contract cleaning headstones at cemeteries. He has a connection.
That's a beautiful business.
And he was just starting that. So imagine, he's a couple years older than me. May he rest in peace. He would send me, when he first started sending the pictures, because I said, I need pictures of the show. I'd get 100 pictures because Smokin' Jim and him would bring all these models to the shows.
I remember all the shows at SIPS.
Yeah. And he'd give me 50, 60 of those pictures. Yes.
I just got an update from official update. He was watching TV last night, fell asleep. They couldn't wake him up. They found out he had
thanks for the update.
A lung aneurysm.
Oh, Jesus.
That's like a blood clot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just got the official update.
Oh.
Wow. Thanks for tuning in and telling us.
My heart is heavy.
May Bill, may he rest in peace, and he's up there taking more photos. He took some of the greatest photos ever, and some of them were with us in it, just us. Smokin' Jim had so many sweeties there, I started calling them sweeties. We had so many good times. But the disclaimer for Smokin' Jim, it's traditional. He never played baseball, doesn't know the players, doesn't know the coach, and he just doesn't know baseball. And he still thinks it's easy to hit. Nick has challenged him. How long you been here? 6 years now, or
4?
4 years.
Still a long time.
Yeah. Every year he's challenged him. Let's go outside. I got a bat and ball in my trunk, and Smokin' Jim goes, "I'll get you next time." Well, when's next time, Nick?
I like to play with my own pool stick. But can I make one prediction before we go to Jim?
We're going to have to cut all that. Yeah.
Can
As long as it's cleaner than the first.
that didn't come out right. But I'm going to make a prediction. Within 2 years, you heard it here first. Within 2 years on the golf course, Nick will be one of the best golfers. I mean, he can, by the time he's master's age, he can be a professional. I'm predicting that for Nick.
What do you
if he
mean,
stay
master's
healthy.
age?
You know that you could go on the when you get to be 35. You
No,
can
the
go
seniors
pro.
tour.
Buddy,
would have to admit-
This guy's
you would
gonna
have
be
to
good.
admit your age.
Nick,
This
you
guy's
know-
gonna be good.
Nick, I have a question for Nick. Do they have a golf thing called the Masters?
I'm still on play with my
Okay.
pool stick. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm surprised I didn't respond back to that. I would have.
I know.
I would have been escorted out.
All right, we're getting back to sports. Smoking Jim is just an entertainer. He knows football and watches 2 films a day. We assume it's football. But we're going to move on to Chip Hayner after that. Only you can follow after that. What's on your mind?
That's a tough act to follow, I got to tell you. And again, condolences to Bill and all his loved ones. He was a gentleman. Always treated me with respect every time I saw him. And he lives about two blocks
right on
away
Bronzeville
from me,
Road.
right
Yeah.
on the corner by St. Sylvester's.
Yeah.
And I live just behind St. Sylvester's.
Oh,
so,
okay.
That's
Right down from him. Yeah.
yeah, that's so sad to hear of his passing. So, what's on my mind? Touch on one of the things that Smoking Jim said. I don't think the Pirates are laying down their bats for Paul Skeens, with the exception of, would they play 90 games so far? With the exception
92 games.
With the exception
I
of
checked.
about 12 or 13 games, they've laid down the bats for everybody. So it was not just Paul Skeens, interesting things will be talked about for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks. Trade deadlines at the end of the month, and it's going to determine whether or not Ben Cherington has a job. Moves need to be made. We have assets that can be traded, but I think it would be a huge mistake to trade any of our major league qualified pitchers, whether they be relievers or starters, for prospects, because that's a classic thing that the Pirates have been criticized for. If they've got a top level closer, top level setup man, they've got to get major league talent back.
Yeah. Chip, I got a question. I saw it the other day that Brian Reynolds has a no trade clause to certain people, and the Yankees wanted to get Brian Reynolds, and he said no.
Well, and you know what? I read the same thing, but I put very little weight in anything I read on social media.
Me too.
Because
you can say anything.
If you know that if it's on social media, it must be true, correct?
He doesn't want to go to the biggest markets, and that is from verified sources.
Well,
Yankees, Dodgers.
No, he has a list of
Phillies.
them.
Yeah, there's
Toronto
6.
Blue Jays. Yeah.
There's 6.
well, and
No, that makes sense. Good point.
we'll see
He's
what
backing
happens.
us with not insider stuff, but what he knows.
Something else that I wanted to bust on my buddy Jim about, because I know how much he loves a certain women's basketball player. He loves him some Angel Reese, and she's been, and I got to give it to her. I mean, the girl can rebound her missed shots like nobody that's ever played the game.
Hey, Chip, you want to know the conversation we had 2 weeks ago with Smoking Jim? He goes, how about she had 24 points and 16 rebounds? How about some of the rebounds were 3 missed shots?
Well, that's what I'm saying. She rebounds her missed shots better than anybody
She's big.
in the
She's a
history
big
of the game,
lady, yeah.
male or female. So there's so much. The WNBA is so catty. These girls are so jealous of one another, and they're jealous of Caitlin Clark because she's getting all the ink, and and then there's the white black thing and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
But to get even with Caitlin Clark, they voted her the 9th best guard in the NBA, which
And guess who got more votes than anybody?
you're right.
Caitlin Clark.
But the thing I
Over a
found
million
most
some
amusing
votes.
is that Angel Reese said she was the face of the league, and she didn't even get elected as the starting 10 in the All-Star game. got picked up as an alternate. So
She's got a McDonald's endorsement, though. That's
you
good
know,
for her.
so
That is, yeah.
well, she's great at pushing forward her brand. You know, if only her brand was being a better basketball player. Maybe she could do some amazing things, but that seems to be the way athletes of today are. They're more worried with pushing forward their brand than perfecting their craft. Steelers made a big trade last week. I think it's much ado about nothing. Personally, myself, we traded somebody from our secondary that was past his prime for somebody from Miami's secondary that was past his prime. And Smoking Jim and I were talking. The kicker of the deal was getting the tight end, Jonnu Smith, the younger man.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, it could possibly be an asset to the Steelers' offense.
He could be the second receiver and not be a TD.
Of
and not
a
be
wide
tight
receiver
end.
depth.
Yeah.
You know, having, you know, they've got Mount Washington, they've got Pat Freiermuth, now Jonnu Smith. You know, that's a rotation that could potentially be something in a ball control offense. And I don't know. Seen nothing about Aaron Rodgers, heard nothing about him, care even less about him. But, you know, maybe he might not be able to throw the ball more than 10 yards. So having 3 tight ends might be advantageous.
I got to disagree with you. Last year he threw 28 touchdown passes with not a good team and got almost 4,000 yards. If our line can block, I think he can still throw, but how long can he stay in the pocket?
But see, statistics can be deceiving.
Understand that.
Okay, because 28 touchdowns, you know, it's 4,000 yards, but his team was losing every one of those games.
I didn't
so
say
he had no choice but to sling the ball around, you know. So, you know, playing from behind and playing from ahead is a different thing.
We've seen that with Big Ben, too, so I understand the logic behind it. But I'm saying if he does that with what we have on the offensive line, we'll win some games. We'll get 11 wins maybe.
Okay, so my last and final thing, Pittsburgh Penguins have got a bunch of draft choices and a bunch of draft picks, and I have no idea who any of them are. And is this going to be another season that the Pittsburgh Penguins don't make the playoffs?
Why didn't anybody tell me the Penguins got a black in the first round? I had to hear it in the streets.
News to me.
You didn't tell me, Nick?
What?
The Penguins got a black player in the first round.
That draft happened over a week ago. What are you doing?
I didn't know. I'm a Penguin fan now.
Disclaimer.
Do you believe they got a black?
Yes, I knew about
I'm
it.
going to go back to George LaRocque.
I mean, you could have talked about it last week or asked about it.
I didn't know. Somebody just told me. I said, no, they didn't.
Smoking Jim's the best entertainer we have on the show. Tony from Chick-fil-A always has some wisdom. With all those bets Smoking Jim loses. Hold it, let him finish. His hat is the closest he gets with the money. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you adding. Dave McElroy's watching. Helen Schnorr's watching. Ralph Williams watching. Hello, guys. Ralph Williams. Hello, Ralph.
Speaking of brands, you've got the brand.
Thank you, sir.
Don't worry about perfecting the sports talk craft. You've got a brand. Make money with that. Get them singles.
Colin McLaughlin's watching. Thanks. And Jody Brown's watching. All right. We got them all in. Nick Callis, what's on your mind after these two gentlemen went?
It's kind of a roller coaster of emotions to start the show.
Great point by Nick.
Everything's a lot. I don't know what to do, so I'm just I'll pivot to the golf actually because.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'll talk about golf a little bit because I went golfing twice in a week, which is very unlike me because I usually don't golf, and it's very frustrating. It is. Hitting the ball is not easy. I have an inside-out swing from baseball, and I hooked the ball to the right several times.
Those are terrible.
Hit him into the woods, hit him into the little swamps, right? Can't get those balls back, and then you get, the stroke penalties. And I think my brother-in-law played far worse than I did. We both went the one day. And I went with a couple of producer colleagues of mine last Wednesday. So
don't mention their names because we know they're busting some chops.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was great. I mean, we already talked about it on the fan, so, I mean, why not bring it here, I guess. Smoking Jim reminded me, so I'm like, why not? I mean, I did terrible. The par was 32. I shot a 63. I shot into the 60s twice. I forget what my exact score was last week. Golf is difficult, though, yeah. I do one of those things where if it takes me more than 10 strokes to put the ball in the hole, I just give myself the give up plus 10 and move on. And that happened like 4 or 5 times for me.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I mean it's rough, but I kind of like it though. I mean it gets me walking, it gets me moving. I get to, swing a club at a ball, right? That's kind of fun. It gets a little energy, gets the blood pumping, right? That's it's good. So I might do that a little more often. I do like golfing. I just got to find the time to do it because now I work all the time. So
You can afford a cart.
What?
You can afford a cart. Why don't you ride a cart?
He didn't say that was his problem.
I didn't say I didn't have a cart, but you still do have to walk a little bit. I mean,
Oh,
Especially when you hit the ball.
In the woods.
exactly. When you hit the ball off the fairway, right? You got to go get it. And you gotta
I
walk a
always
little bit.
found golf to be very therapeutic, and when I was when I was your age, I used to play 4 or 5 times a week, and I absolutely loved the time I spent on the golf course. So probably in the last 20 years, I probably have been out to play maybe twice, and I would like to
Oh,
get back
wow.
to the point of playing, but my schedule's quite full, and and I think about what the rising cost of a round of golf is compared to
Yeah.
the stack of bills that I've got that need to get paid. The bills get paid before I entertain myself. But I've always loved it.
The place I went to, the cart and the round was $28 for 9 holes.
No,
Whoa.
So I mean that ain't bad, right?
Where'd you go?
Take smoking next time.
Went to Clover Hill in North Hills.
All right, I know exactly where it is. Up off of Reach Run.
It's pretty nice. I mean, it's good. There's a bunch of houses nearby too. They have signs that say "Get your ball, get off their property." Their yards are out of
That's
bounds. Don't be
nice.
hitting the ball. I guess people are hitting the balls in other people's yards. That's not good.
Yeah.
No, it is great though. I mean, golf's fun, but it's not. I mean, I need to work on my drives better. I also heard I should get a coach, and I'm probably not going to do that. There's no need. Sometimes it's fun to be angry.
Go to the range
and fail.
Get a bucket of balls.
Again, do I even care
Hey,
that
we
much?
got
No.
Cool Springs. Go to
Yeah,
Cool
go-
Springs.
You grab a bucket of balls and
Yeah.
go to Top Golf.
Go to Cool Springs and knock the ball around.
But see, that's the point. Like, I don't know if I care that much. You see what I'm saying?
Ah.
Like, sometimes part of the fun is getting frustrated at yourself, not just being good at it automatically. I don't know. I mean,
Whoa.
I'm not trying to perfect it. I'm trying to go out and just have fun. And sometimes having fun is being frustrated, right? Yeah.
No.
A little ball in the hole.
I'll give you my golf story and a tennis story. I played sports and everything in the streets and
No kidding.
officially. So in Green Tree, we had tennis courts. They go, "Hey, Al, you want to play tennis?" So I could serve real nice. I had a nice hard serve. They're hitting the ball back to me, and I'm going bang, and they're going out of the court. Go to the side. They go, "Al, hit a little lower." I'm hitting line drives, hitting into them. I go, "Tennis isn't for me." And they go, "Well, you like to bowl. How about if you golf?" So I go out first hole, hit a nice ball out there down the fairway. Then I go to hit another ball, miss the green. Then I hit another ball, come back, overlap the green. Then I try again. I had like about 6 shots.
You missed the green?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got the green today, baby. So
You
I
got
go,
to see.
I never quit anything, Nick, but I quit golfing that day because I said tennis isn't for me. Golf isn't for me. I'll just stay in my lane. I'll bowl. Was a pretty good bowler. Play football and baseball, and I stuck to it.
I think the more you do it, I think the better I could get. Like,
Well,
I mean,
after
it's
hitting
You've
it
got
like
natural athletic ability. I mean, you played ball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got the good hand-eye coordination. It's just a matter of, applying
Keeping your
yourself.
arms straight.
Just applying yourself. You can do it. You can do it.
sure, yeah.
No,
Did
I wish you
wait,
well.
Did you hear that I actually gave you a compliment?
I know this is a Pittsburgh Sportsline first
Write it down.
on our 1001 show. Unbelievable what's going on. But I wish you well and good luck.
I'll tell you. Wait,
And
one more
friends
thing
of mine
about
love the golf. Go ahead.
mini golf. Is actually a specialty of mine.
Oh, I was good at that.
On the mini golf. Jade is here, and that reminds me too. We went mini golfing with her family during Memorial Day weekend, and the par was 48. I shot a 44.
Whoa.
400
Wow.
on an 18-hole mini golf course, and I won an award. They have got this owl they give you. They're like, here, bring it
Can't
back.
beat that.
No, so I won.
It's on the shelf.
I won the Family Olympics owl. Yeah, it is. It's in
Wow.
a case back at her house. Yeah, so
Well, not to brag, but I was good like you on the miniature golf whenever we go.
I can putt like crazy. I mean,
No, I could too. It's just weird. Couldn't hit the ball down the field.
I can putt like crazy. Why is that? Why did that get
I'm
your
not
reaction?
going there. It's the family show.
Well, I wasn't that fit.
I don't know. We're
get-
good with it. We'll just go with it.
All right. Well, that's what's on my mind. We'll talk more about the Pittsburgh sports teams later on the the VIP segment. So.
All right, Al,
We'll
what's
get-
on your mind? They covered everything I wanted to talk about except Caitlin Clark being hurt and coming back tomorrow. So she's still driving the lead. The Caitlin Clark tsunami still doing it. They're talking about having more teams. Revenue is up.
Cleveland to Detroit.
Yeah, imagine that. All because she got in. 25 years they were there without her. And then I've watched the games. I've never seen so many hard fouls against one person in a league. I've seen other stars get hit and hit others. And then I see something, my dad in the sky, may he rest in peace, he goes, they're not calling that foul. They swallow the whistle.
So what do you think? I've kind of become enamored with one of Caitlin's teammates, who's supposedly
Yeah.
the enforcer.
Cunningham.
Sophie Cunningham.
I am too.
She is a bad.
And how
bad
about
girl.
how about the Mitchell girl? She can shoot pretty good too.
Well, Sophie will fight. She's a black belt.
I know, and she shows it. No, so it's interesting.
She played football too.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw a picture of her with shoulder pads on in uniform.
No, that's good. One other thing, you know, I've been a disgruntled Pirate fan for a while, and Chip says you're not a fan, but I'm a closet fan. So when they got Don Kelly from Mount Lebanon and a Jimmy Leland guy, he's done 26 and 28 being a coach. So guess what, folks? That's like almost 500. What if he was here, like Nick alluded to last year? What if he started the season? Because I want to just say, Chip knows, Nick knows, Smoking don't know baseball, but he coached them up, and look at how they're playing. Look at how they're pitching, overperformed, did things hadn't been done in a century. And of course, they had a bad series. It's 162 games. Chip and I have said this forever. Things go up, they go down. In between, it's what you make out of it. And look at what he's done with the whole morale and how they play the game.
And you're making a great point, because the team is playing better for him than they did for Derek Shelton. However, the flaws in the Pirates' talent level
Are many,
and they're very obvious. And when they've won 6 games in a row, they were playing way over their heads. And then now they're on a 4-game losing streak.
And it happens.
Playing the Royals right now.
Right.
And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. Unfortunately, the hopes were this team would contend this year, and that's not going to happen. But maybe they're laying the groundwork to contend next.
Even I was looking at it with 70 games to go. If they play 500, they only win 73 games.
If they end up this year winning 73 games, that would be a huge accomplishment.
That's why I brought it up, Chip.
Because the way they were pacing to lose 105 or 106.
I know, 55, 58 games, yeah.
Keep hope alive.
Yeah, I never give up the ship, and I'm a proud season ticket holder. And we'll
Chip,
continue to
the
be
best
so.
thing about this season, Smoking Jim didn't bet that they would lose 100 games this year.
Yeah, I thought they was going to make the playoffs.
He said it, and
Any reasonable person should have believed that. And then they just,
I wasn't reasonable. I was waiting to see what they would do, but
then they just didn't spend money on the
How
outfit.
many
Right.
in a row did they lose?
we forget.
They didn't actually go on any crazy losing streaks this season. I think
No
6
10.
was their largest.
They didn't have any 10 or
season.
11 game losing
They're
streaks.
kind of
Smoking
on a
Jim.
streak now, aren't they?
No.
They've lost 4 in a row.
See, he doesn't follow baseball. He's asking these questions, and he acts like an expert.
They didn't score a run in 30 innings of baseball. How about that?
He didn't mention that because he didn't know.
Did you know that? Yeah. They're the first
But
team in
they
Major
also
League Baseball
made-
history to give out a sweep and then get swept.
Since
Back to back.
1880,
Right,
since
but no, it's
never happened.
They were the first team in Major League history to beat 2 opponents by a score of 44-4,
Yeah.
and in
Won
a
it
6-game
43-4.
season. They
43.
43.
Yeah.
did an amazing job. So they're setting records all over the place. Some good,
Good
some
and
not, some not so good. So to me, I can't get too high nor too low. I just I love the game. I love watching the Buccos. So I just enjoy the games as they're played.
Hey, Amelia Viveros is watching. Carl King's watching. Chief said if the Bucks had Sparky Anderson, they would still lose. We don't know. He was a great coach.
I don't know what
Hall
kind
of
of a
Fame.
ball player he was. I mean, what do you Sparky Anderson as what, the bat boy?
No,
as
he-
your first baseman?
No,
as
no,
the
no.
manager? I don't know.
I know, Chief. He's saying if he were the coach.
Yeah.
He didn't say it. It was
Yeah.
understood. They can't play.
I don't think Casey Stengel would have made the post-game interviews quite entertaining.
And he was a good baseball player, too.
Yes,
Casey
he
was a good ball player. Smokin' didn't know this, so it's above his pay grade. So we're going to do Fiction and Fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac, 10 seconds.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. I hate any kind of discrimination, even though I never seen none. But I really
Then how would you know?
I really hate reverse discrimination.
How do you know?
They had an all-time team put out the NFL. I'll read these players.
Yeah,
and
but what you just said, you can't even know that.
And it's
Those are
all
glasses.
black
Those glasses
players.
look great.
Listen, white folks invented football, and they can't make it on
I
the
got to put
all-time
a
list.
disclaimer.
Didn't I?
Smokin' Jim's a black man, and he's not racist.
Wait a minute. When did this happen?
Yeah, since he lost 70 pounds. And he's not racist, and if it sounds like it, you can call him up if you message me. I'll give you his number.
Here's the all-time team. Cornerback, Deion Sanders. Safety, Ronnie Lott. Safety, Ed Reed. Safety, corner Rod Woodson. Outside linebacker, Lawrence Taylor. Middle linebacker, Ray Lewis. Middle linebacker, Mike Singletary. Defensive end, Bruce Smith. Defensive tackle, Aaron Donald. Defensive tackle, Joe Green. Defensive tackle, Reggie White. Now here's Smokin' Jim's all-time team.
1A, 1B, 1E.
XYZ.
I go by the 3-4 defense. I got to start off with my middle linebacker. Has to be Dick Buckus, white guy, in there.
Why do you mention race?
He's better than Mike Singletary.
Why do you mention race?
Lawrence Taylor is on there. And, of course, T.J. Watt is the other outside linebacker. Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yeah.
I have to put as my defensive captain, Ray Lewis. He wasn't the greatest middle linebacker ever, but he got everybody to play better all around.
Why didn't he go to jail for murder?
He got rid of the white suit.
Thank you. Thank you, Chip. Just asking.
But my defensive line, Reggie White, Mean Joe Green. I took Bruce Smith out because he missed a playoff game with a runny nose here at Three Rivers Stadium. I can't put him in there. Plus, he beat out a friend of mine from Gateway, Nate Gay, and Virginia Tech, so he got to be out. Aaron Donald, I took him out because he quit on his team.
I thought he grew up in Penn Hills.
Merlin Olsen, 14 Pro Bowls, got to be there.
What about Deacon Jones?
Deacon Jones, good job. Deacon Jones unofficially had 200 sacks. He got to be on there. Lau Alzado got to be on there. Julius Peppers. Al Levine, the talking machine. Now we go to the secondary. Darrell Reeves is not on there. Only seven Pro Bowls and 29 interceptions. A little overrated out of Aliquippa. Lester Hayes is not on anybody's list. He was 11-time Pro Bowler. Had 39 interceptions and 18 interceptions in one season. But they keep talking about Revis Allen. That's the real Allen. Al Levine, the talking machine. You can't talk safety without talking about Dick Night Train Lane. He should be on there. Of course, Deion Sanders got to be your cornerback. The greatest safety in NFL history, and he's not in the Hall of Fame, is Jack Tatum.
The assassin.
And lastly, Al Levine, the talking machine. The last person on my list, I believe a cornerback has to be able to play a lot of different positions. Deion Sanders could return punts and kickoff for you. In my opinion, punt return is part of the defense, Al Levine, the talking machine. So I had to put a player on there on my all-time list that could play 13 different positions. The only player in NFL history that I know of, and I know them all, that could play 13 different positions. He's unbelievable, freak of nature. He's going to go down as the greatest. Cooper DeJean
What
is
about
my
Billy
corner.
White Shoes Johnson?
He was a punt returner, but
That's
you
it?
can't put him. This is punt returner's not a position.
Well, Smoking Jim,
This is defense.
I
just
got a
defense.
question.
But Billy was something. Widener College.
I'm confused. Like every sport I played,
Cooper the G.
I pitched and I was on offense.
Like T.J. Watt.
I was a
Merlin
center.
Olsen.
I was a center
Lau
snapping a
Alzado.
ball on every play. And you kick a ball to somebody, they catch a
Bill
ball and run.
Romanowski almost made
How
it.
is that a defense when you're running a ball?
Punt return, because the defense is still on the field when you punt. The offense haven't taken the field, so I contribute punt returner to
Isn't that a little gray area, not black or white?
very great.
I think you missed 2 players.
Who?
Greg Guy for your punter,
Well,
and Roy
that's
Girella for your
All right, thanks, Smoking.
But how can you have a list? I mean, this reverse discrimination is getting out of control. I always said if T.J. Watt was black, he'd have his money by now.
Smoking
Now,
Jim, this
Levine's
is
not.
rare. I have to ask a disclaiming question. If you don't see discrimination, how can you have reverse discrimination? I don't know if I can disclaim that.
Because
Just think
guys
slowly.
get stereotyped. The stereotype. White players are not supposed to be athletic, although there's athletic white players.
What?
4 years ago, the guy that
okay.
won,
You
4
know
years
what?
ago,
Next.
the guy that won the 100-meter dash in
Wait.
the Olympics was from Italy.
I got to end it. Chief said Willie Lanier, great list,
Yeah.
Smoking.
Yeah.
Tracy Regianti is watching. And we're moving the trivia time with Chip in 10 seconds.
Me and Chip's on the same.
Okay, so I was doing some reading, like I always do,
Yeah.
and I like to discover meaningless and useless facts.
I
always
like
say
it, though.
that I'm a fountain of useless information. So I'm going to run down a list of players. There's 19 of them,
Whoa.
and it's not 10, it's 19 of players that were. And these are players that won Rookie of the Year award and are in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. There are 19 of them. First up, Luis Aparicio, shortstop for the Chicago White Sox.
Didn't
Jeff
know.
Bagwell. Johnny Bench, one of the greatest catchers I ever saw play. Rod Carew, with 8 silver bats, winning 8 batting titles. Orlando Cepeda, who was once part of a great outfield for the San Francisco Giants.
Didn't know.
Andre the Hawk Dawson.
Yeah.
Carlton Fisk, a catcher extraordinaire, probably the second greatest catcher that played the game, besides Johnny Bench, that I've seen in my lifetime. Next up, Derek Jeter, the Yankee captain. Next after that, probably one of the greatest players to ever play the game, if not the, Willie Mays. Next after that, Willie McCovey.
Oh.
Eddie Murray, switch-hitting superstar for the Baltimore Orioles.
Willie McCovey's in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, he is. Wow. Tony Oliva for the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, I remember him.
Mike Piazza, catcher for the
that was my
Dodgers
doppelganger.
and the
I
New
look
York
like him.
and the New York Mets. The Iron Man himself, Cal Ripken Jr., Frank Robinson.
Wow.
He was a Rookie of the Year for the Cincinnati Reds before he moved on to the Baltimore Orioles. Jackie Robinson, Scott Rowland, Tom Terrific Seaver,
Yes.
and last but not least, Billy Williams.
Well,
So
Pete
those
Rose
are
was
the 19
Pete Rose was Rookie of the Year.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was. He was Rookie of the Year.
Well, he's not in the Hall of Fame, so he's not on the list.
Wait, aren't they putting him in the Hall of Fame, though?
What's that?
They're putting him in the Hall of Fame, right?
No.
Yes,
He has to get elected.
that was a story. Rob Manfred was putting him in, right, after he died.
No.
No, he said he could be in.
No, he is.
They have
He
to
is
elect
now.
him in.
Oh, he's
Eligible.
not banned. He's not banned anymore. That's
He's,
not
he's
banned.
an E
That's
word,
But
eligible.
he can still not get elected.
Yeah, he's
because
eligible.
there's- the
Reverse
Veterans-
discrimination.
the
You
Veterans
don't even
Committee
see
would have to vote on
discrimination. You
him.
can't have a reverse of
Okay,
something you don't
the
see.
Veterans Committee would have to vote on
Yes.
him, and there's a lot of members on the Veterans Committee that
Right.
were not exactly pleased with the way Pete Rose behaved. So we'll see what happens.
Good point. Great list, Chip. Smoking Jim does not know baseball again. Sorry, Smoking. Thanks for entertaining. 10 seconds for Nick VIP Callis time coming right up at you.
All right, we're talking about the Pirates. So here's my take on the whole situation. This is the weirdest year for the Pirates. This is the weirdest year for any baseball team you'll ever see. Is this Pirates team exciting? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can say that they are. Are these games boring games to watch? No. Are they getting blown out every game? No. So I guess there's progress there. Is this team better than last season? No. I happen to not agree, shockingly, with Chip. If they win 73 games, I mean, it will be an accomplishment, I guess. But perspective is relative. And my perspective, I look at it from like, okay, where were they before? 76 wins, right? Where are they now?
2 years in a row.
They're the second worst team in the National League in front of the Colorado Rockies. But the Colorado Rockies are like historically terrible. The Pirates are really doing not good this season. Like, it's not good. Like, there will be accomplishments to be had, I guess, if you're looking at it from that perspective. But I'm looking at it as we're 5 years into a regime. Like, there's got to be something better than this that they can possibly offer. And again, if they fire the manager earlier on, perhaps you get better results. But I'm not here to completely rehash that. I just want to bring up the mere fact, too, that the Pirates pitching staff is actually the best in the National League.
Yes, sir.
Like, the Pirates are a really good pitching team. And you can see that by a lot of the low-scoring games. Pirates have been involved, I think, in the most one-run games in baseball this season. They've also been involved in a lot of shutouts. They've dished out a lot of shutouts, and they've also been shut out a lot. So the clear answer here is offense. But if we're talking about the team being entertaining, like that's the opinion I'm kind of driving home to, is that this team is interesting. This team is entertaining because of the pitching staff. Like, alone, the pitching staff is doing historic things. And the offense is that bad. The offense is that bad. They're also playing terrible on the road as well. I don't know exactly what's contributing to that, but they're not winning games on the road. Their home record is way better than their record on the road.
I looked at their home record. It's a winning record.
Yeah.
And the losing record on the road is like a losing record by 20 games under 500.
They only have 13 wins on the road this season.
And 33 losses.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good.
Like
so it's weird to look at. Now, we talk about trade pieces as well for this team. It's just difficult for me to think about what return the Pirates could get for any of their current players that they have now, where they're going to get a veteran return, back. They've just put themselves in a really terrible position right now. Like, this is a very bad position that the Pirates are in, because they don't really, like, the players that they have on the team, other than Skeens, I mean, is there anybody spectacular? I'd argue not. They have a lot of good veteran players on the team that are contributing to give them a chance to win, but they're not. There's nobody out there that I think they're going to get a flashy package for, and they need like a flashy package. They need. They could use prospects, but they're not in a position right now. Like, the timeline does not afford them the ability to get more prospects. Like, this team's got to start winning, or they've got to move on from the general manager at this point and maybe start again. But that's going to frustrate Pirate fans. I know that we're all starved for successful baseball, like a successful baseball team in Pittsburgh. It's just, and they did one half of the ball right. Like, they did one half of the team correctly. I feel bad for Mitch Keller. He's like 3-10.
Yeah,
his record.
He has a 3.46.
He was 1-9 at one point in time with an ERA just over 4. Like, that's
he's
a
at
quality
3.46 right now.
Yeah, so he's been a quality starter. Like, he has been a solid starter for this team. Will Paul Skeens win the Cy Young Award? I think that'll be the absolute. It'll be an absolute tragedy for this team that he won't be considered as well for the Cy Young, because Zach Wheeler they got going now for the Phillies. Like, he is pitching well, and he has a winning record. So, like, Paul Skeens might be looked at unfavorably because of his pitching record, which, again, it's not really his fault that he's losing all those games. If the Pirates would score, they would they'd be winning more, and he'd be winning more. So that's a shame too. Like, so it's all interesting. Like, I can't say that this team's boring. I've been very frustrated with this team this season, but you can't necessarily call them boring. It doesn't mean they're a good baseball team. They're actually really bad. And yesterday I officially put my stamp on the fact that they're not a good baseball team this season. Like, they're not coming back. They're not making the playoffs. It's not going to happen. They're not good enough. Playing Seattle on the road, they're not good enough.
Well, I gave the analogy 70 games to go. If they do 500, which they haven't done all year, that's 35 wins.
Yeah,
That's a 73. So you're right.
So right. So I mean, they are not a good enough baseball team to do anything this season. They've got.
Hold it, Mike Rohde just sounded in.
Okay.
Ultra mega fire sale coming for the Buccos. Time to restart the 5-year clock.
I don't even think that that's the case, because like I hear people talking about that too, and that's fine. It's funny to laugh at. Okay, Mike. I mean, I get it. Fire sale's not going to necessarily help this team though. Like you've got pieces on this team.
You do.
That are good. The problem is that they don't have an offense, and this is why this offseason, just to go back on it, is so frustrating to recount, because they had an opportunity to acquire anybody on offense. They had an opportunity to acquire any hitters on offense, and they didn't do much of anything.
Need a man.
They signed Tommy Pham, and they traded for Spencer Horwitz. And Horwitz is all right, but he had a chronic wrist thing, and Tommy Pham couldn't see for however long, and then they got his eyes checked, and now he's hitting well. But like, what are we doing with this stuff? Like, you can't make up this season with all of the nonsense that has happened this season. Like, it's a shame. The overall thing that I'm going to say here is it's a shame. And when you talk about what should the Pirates do,
Get a manager.
Don Kelly's doing all right.
Hold it, Mike Rohde interrupting. Nick, you have to laugh or else you would cry.
I get that, but I'm choosing to yell. I don't have to do either. I don't have to cry about this team. I get it. There's no fire sale coming here. I don't know if a fire sale accomplishes anything, which is, I guess, to the greater point here is like,
what are you selling?
What direction do they go in? Because if you only thing you can really sell off right now for anything worthwhile is your pitchers. But like, you don't want to get rid of the pitching because it's doing well. So I have absolutely no idea what direction this team is going to go in. They are oddly an exciting team, but there's like no clear direction to go in, and this is the result of what happens when you sit on your hands for too long. For both the ownership for not firing the manager and general manager sooner, although the general manager is still hired, and then for the front office to not go out and act and add to a team that was already showing signs of growth the 2 previous seasons. All right, that's it.
All right.
Hey, can I get one
Yeah,
last
because
thing
we're going to
before
go
we
last 2
cut
minutes.
off?
So, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, everybody knows what July 1st is. That's Bobby
Trey.
Bonilla Day.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting facts. The Pittsburgh Pirates have won 3 more National League East championships than the Mets. The earliest the Mets could pass the Braves in National League East titles would be 2034. No Braves are under contract that long, but Bobby Bonilla is.
Thanks, Chip. Appreciate it. All right, my best plumber in Pittsburgh, Brandon Mann, he's tuning in tonight. He said, hoping to continue my back surgery recovery and join you guys soon. Brandon Mann, you're invited next Tuesday night. Come on out. We'll have you talk for 1 minute about the Penguins.
All right.
Because he knows Penguin talk. I've been trying to get him on, but the way he works as a plumber, he's not smoking Jim. He's available 24/7, and he's a journalist. But Brandon Mann's the guy.
I'd like to talk to somebody knowledgeable about the Penguins.
He is great. Me and him had a discussion while he was cleaning a block sewer. Had to bring the big equipment out. We can't get into details. He fixed it. Wow. But we talked Penguins for an hour.
Nice.
And he got paid. And we're running out of time. What's the countdown?
We are out of time.
We are out. Thanks for watching. 1,000 celebration, Bethel Park Community Center, 6 o'clock. Stay Joey strong.